Kenya's political scene is heating up as President William Ruto makes a jaw-dropping claim. He will win the 2027 election and he knows exactly how he will do it.
Mimi ninajua ya kwamba nimepatiwa kazi na wananchi wa taifa la Kenya. Na hiyo kazi nimepatiwa, najua mtihani ni 2027. Na hiyo mtihani ya 2027 sipangi kuanguka hiyo mtihani. Hiyo mtihani ya 2027 mimi najua vile nitapita hiyo mtihani.
But with his approval ratings slipping, a potential referendum to oust him looming, and wild theories swirling about his strategy, is Ruto bluffing, or does he have a master plan to secure victory?
Si barabara mimi najenga pande hii, si mtihani mimi nangojea 2027.
On April 16th, 2025, President William Ruto sent shockwaves through Kenya with a bold declaration. No one can stop me in 2027, signaling his unshakable confidence in winning the next presidential election. But this claim comes at a turbulent time. Ruto's presidency has been rocked by economic struggles. Kenya's $2031 bonds dropped 15% in 2024 after protests over the controversial finance bill, according to Bloomberg. Many Kenyans are struggling to make ends meet, and surveys like those from Tifa and Infotrack show his approval ratings hovering below 40%. So how can Ruto be so sure of victory?
Niambia nirekebishe kilimo. Na hiyo kilimo nimerekebisha. Chai inalipa beta. Kahawa inalipa beta. Fertilizer nimeteremsha chini. Maziwa inalipa beta. Sio ndio mtihani? Mimi niko na scorecard ambaye itadhihirisha wazi ya kwamba hiyo kazi ya kupanga ajira ya vijana nimetekeleza.
Adding fuel to the fire, there's talk of a referendum to kick Ruto out before 2027. Opposition leaders, including Raila Odinga's allies, have been pushing for a vote to end his term early.
We have prepared a Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill whose main objective is to give the people the right through the referendum to recall the president and his deputy and replace them with a transitional president and a transitional deputy through that referendum. And how shall we do this? By establishing a sovereign people's convention, which is provided for under the Constitution. It is important that this proposal be exercised now because we are becoming a failed state.
If this gains traction, Ruto might not even make it to the ballot. So what is strategy? Let's dive into the wild theories circulating across Kenya and the fierce reactions on social media. Theory number 1, rigging through the IEBC.
Wale wanaongea mambo mingi wajitayarishe kwa hii mtihani.
Is Ruto planning to rig the 2027 election through the IEBC? Kenya has long history of disputed elections. Take the 1992 polls, for instance, which were marred by ballot box stuffing and ethnic violence in the Rift Valley, as documented by Human Rights Watch. More recently, in 2022, Raila Odinga accused Ruto of plotting to manipulate the electoral process by suspending 4 IEBC commissioners and pushing for a new appointment process. Critics have echoed these concerns, pointing to Ruto's actions as evidence he might be trying to control the electoral body. But rigging isn't easy. Kenya's electoral system has become more transparent since the chaotic 2007 election, with the digital vote tallies and court oversight. Plus, the Supreme Court has a history of overturning dubious results like in 2017. If Ruto is banking on rigging, he'd need an airtight plan. And even then, the risk of protests and bloodsheds, including international backlash, could be catastrophic. Theory number 2 is even wilder. Is Ruto planning to boost his voter numbers by issuing identity cards and voter cards to foreigners? In February 2025, Ruto scrapped a 60-year-old vetting requirement for ID applicants in northeastern Kenya, a move hailed by some as progressive but slammed by others as a political ploy. Critics like security expert George Natembea warned this could allow non-Kenyans from Somalia or Ethiopia to register as voters, inflating Ruto's numbers in key regions.
Hatuwezi kuendelea na mambo ambayo inagawanya wananchi katika viwango viwili. Ati kuna Wakenya wanapata vitambulisho kwa hali moja, alafu kuna Wakenya wengine wanapata vitambulisho kwa kiwango kingine. That is unacceptable, it is undemocratic, it is unconstitutional, it is illegal.
And I assure you, in another 5 or so years, we'll have enough foreigners here with Kenyan IDs registered as voters. They're going to be voted for as MCAs, as MPs, as governors, and that will be even possible to have a foreigner voted for as the president of this republic.
With northeastern's voter base potentially spiking by millions, this could offset losses in Ruto's former stronghold, the Mount Kenya region, where his fallout with ex-deputy president Rigathi Gachagua has cost him support.
Ndio barabara itoke Mandera, ikuje Ramo, ikuje Gari, ikuje Elwak, ikuje Kobo, ikuje pale Kotulo, ikuje Tarbaj, ipitie hapa Wajia, iende Samatar, itaremuke Modogashe, ifike Isiolo, iende Nairobi, watu wa Northern Kenya wakae kama Wakenya wengine.
But this strategy is a double-edged sword. Opponents are already crying foul, and any hint of voter fraud could spark unrest, just like the ethnic violence seen in past election. Theory number 3. Could Ruto be banking on voter apathy in opposition strongholds or even suppressing votes? Kenya's youths are a powerful voting bloc, but many feel disillusioned after years of unfulfilled promises. Some allege Ruto's government could delay or withhold ID issuance for young people, preventing them from getting voter cards.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you.
By now, we have nothing to lose.
Low turnout in opposition areas could give Ruto an edge, especially if his base, energized by his hustler narrative, will it even work, shows up in droves. But this tactic is risky. Kenya's Gen Z has proven they are not afraid to protest, and any blatant voter suppression could ignite a firestorm. Finally, theory number 4. What if Ruto is planning to win fair and square? His 2022 victory was built on a populist hustler versus dynasty narrative that resonated with Kenya's poor. Could he double down on this, delivering enough economic wins like job creation or infrastructure to secure a legitimate victory in 2027? For Ruto to win on merit, he'd need to overcome a mountain of distrust. So what's the truth behind Ruto's 2027 plan? Is he plotting to manipulate the IEBC, flood voter rolls with questionable IDs, or suppress opposition votes? Or could he pull off a legitimate win against the odds? One thing is clear, Kenya's political landscape is a powder keg, and Ruto's next moves could either solidify his power or spark chaos. What do you think? Is Ruto bluffing, or does he have a winning strategy? Drop your thoughts. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.